Dear students, welcome back to one more lecture in managerial economics. In this lecture, let me explain you about another different concept called deflation. Though deflation is rare to exist in a country like India, it is quite reverse to inflation, wherein there is a general fall in the prices of all the goods and services. So, if at all there is a general fall in the goods and services or prices of goods and services, we shall call such a phenomenon as deflation. And deflation does not simply mean the slight or very temporary shortfall or a fall in the prices of goods and services. If at all the fall in the prices of goods and services lead to overproduction, unemployment and reduction in the investments, then only such a fall in prices of goods and services shall be called as a deflation. And the causes of deflation may be vast and varied, and the first cause of deflationary trend in any economy is general fall or deficient in the aggregate demand. Whenever the general demand for goods and services fall beyond a certain limit, producers or sellers will have no other option than to reduce the prices, which will ultimately lead to deflation. Thus, the first and foremost cause of deflationary trend in any economy would be the general fall in the aggregate demand, which is exactly reverse to the situation where whenever there is a hike in the aggregate demand beyond the limit of production, it leads to inflationary trend. And another cause of deflation may be decreased investment expenditure. Whenever the investment expenditure made by organizations or industries at large is decreased, it would ultimately lead to deflationary trend. And such reduction in the investment expenditure may be due to several reasons, namely increase in the rate of interest, which demotivates industrialists to invest more, and secondly, if at all there is a fall in the marginal efficiency of capital, that is, if at all the general rates of return on any business fall down drastically, producers will have no motive to increase production or increase investment expenditure, which would ultimately lead to deflationary trend in any economy. And one such similar cause is a fall in the marginal efficiency of capital. Whenever the rate of return of capital employed by industries or employed by business organizations come down due to various reasons, producers will have a lower inclination to produce more or invest more. And such decline in marginal efficiency of capital may be due to increased cost of material and labor, or increased abundance of output, or increased industrial expansion beyond the actual requirement of the same. And another cause of deflation may be less consumption. According to Keynes, one more important reason or cause of deflationary trend in any economy may be less consumption on the part of consumers. Whenever consumers try to spend less and less on goods and services, producers are induced to reduce their prices, which would ultimately lead to deflationary trend. And another reason or cause of deflation may be a rise in the rates of interest. So, whenever interest rates rise, producers try to produce less or invest less, which would decrease the overall production, and sometimes in order to increase sales, companies may even resort to reduction in the prices or selling prices, which all would lead to deflationary trend in any economy in general. Thus, to sum up, according to Keynes, reduced investment expenditure on the part of industries, reduced consumption expenditure on the part of consumers, declined marginal efficiency of capital, and a rise in the rates of interest or decline in the aggregate demand are some of the causes of deflation. And another reason for deflationary trend in any economy apart from the above said reasons may be contractory monetary policy. Whenever there is inflationary trend in any country, RBI tries to adopt several procedures in order to control such inflation. In one of my lectures, I have clearly explained you about the different measures adopted by central banks of countries and RBI more specifically in a country like India in order to exercise control over credit expansion of commercial banks. So whenever RBI exercises any of the control measures in order to suppress the inflationary trend, naturally that sometimes may lead to, or that beyond a certain point of time may lead to deflationary trend in an economy. Thus, whenever RBI either increases cash reserve ratio or increases statutory liquidity ratio or increases repo rate or reverse repo rate, the result of all these would be lower and lower availability of funds or lower and lower amount of funds with the commercial banks to lend the same to industries and individuals. So, whenever RBI or Government of India at large adopts contractory monetary policies or policies to reduce the inflationary effect, that may beyond a certain point of time lead to deflationary trend. And another cause of deflation may be reduction in the government expenditure. When in order to control inflation, government also reduces its expenditure on public projects or public utility projects, national income, and thereby incomes of all different factors of production come down drastically, which would induce marketers to reduce the prices even in order to make the products available to consumers at lower prices. Thus, in a way, decreased government expenditure would also lead to deflation in an indirect manner. And apart from these reasons, heavy taxes imposed by governments may also cause a deflationary trend. Whenever taxes are imposed heavily by government, it will reduce the disposable income of consumers or the income that is available with people for consumption on various goods or services which they require. And this will lead to decline in both the consumption expenditure and investment expenditure, and thereby it would ultimately result in deflation. And another reason for a deflationary trend may be increased economic inequalities. In a country like India, economic inequalities always do exist, and if such economic inequalities increase even further, rich become richer and poor become poorer, and as a matter of fact, the marginal propensity to consume is less with rich people than compared to poor. That means that rich people tend to save more and consume less, or rich people tend to spend less compared to people who belong to middle income or lower income categories. Thus, when the income disparities or distribution of income is disparted in a long way or in a larger way, that may also cause a deflation to some extent. And another reason for increased deflationary trend in any economy may be increased public borrowing. Whenever government debt increases beyond a certain limit, there will be general recessionary trend across the country or across several sectors, which would ultimately lead to deflationary trend. And another reason for deflationary trend may be psychological factors. With the ever-changing optimistic and pessimistic feelings of producers and consumers, the levels of consumption expenditure, levels of investment expenditures, or levels of investment made by producers will also vary significantly. And when producers are with optimistic view, they try to produce more, and when there is no corresponding demand for their goods, naturally producers are induced to reduce the prices, which would definitely lead to deflationary trend. And the last cause of deflation may be general conditions that may prevail in any country, like natural calamities like earthquakes or floods or whatever, which will reduce the overall consumption, reduce the overall employment levels and overall investment levels, which would lead to deflation. And in one of my other lectures, I shall explain you about the measures to control deflation.